What's up, YouTube? It's Blu-ray Bandit back again for another Sunday live session. I don't know if this is going to be a normal thing. It probably is not going to be a normal thing, I would guess. But, I'm wondering if the sound is all right. I'm kind of waiting for somebody to drop in. Oh, there's somebody here. Can you hear me all right? Whoever it is that dropped in. Now we've got two in the live, 3 in the live. Could somebody just chat me? Audio sounds good. And then I'll continue with this little Sunday afternoon get together. Anybody can chat me. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep talking and hopefully somebody will chat me that the audio sounds good. So yeah, we did this last Sunday where we opened up a big box of Blu-rays live on the channel, and we're gonna do it again today. We're gonna open up a big box, a large lot of Blu-rays that came from eBay. Now, the difference between what we did last week and what we're gonna do today is that I didn't buy this box of Blu-rays. A friend of mine bought this box of Blu-rays. And that's not just, you know, code, a friend of mine. Literally a friend of mine watches my Blu-ray videos, learned about my process, and decided to jump in and buy a large lot of 4K Blu-rays. And he lives near me, and he said, hey, I got them in. Do you want to unbox them live on the channel? And I didn't even know he had bought them yet. So I was like, absolutely, that sounds like super fun. And I told him, don't tell me what's in the box. He has not told me any of the titles that are in the box. All he has told me is that there are 36 4K Blu-ray titles in the box. He paid $310 to have these 36 4K Blu-ray titles shipped to his door. Do a little math, you figure out that's about $8.61 per 4K Blu-ray. So that's what we're doing today. We're unboxing this large box of entirely 4K titles that my friend bought off eBay and has not revealed to me what the titles are inside this box. Again, 36 titles, $310, shipped to his door, $8.61 per title, which I can tell you is in the zone for sure. When I buy 4Ks on a large lot, I'm aiming for, if I can get it below $8, I've gotten a good deal for sure. If I can get it between 8 and 10, I've gotten a pretty good deal for used Blu-rays, especially if like a good half of them I plan on keeping. Because you're probably, like, there's definitely some titles that are going to sell for less than $10 on resale, but the vast majority of them are going to sell for over $10. So hopefully you've got enough that are up in that like $20 to $25 range that they're going to pay for all the titles that you wanted to keep. But, and this is a big but, the ones that you want to keep are came without any shipping, right? You didn't have to henpeck from eBay all the titles that you wanted. You got them all in one spot. You saved a ton on shipping, at minimum $3 each on shipping. So let's say if you wanted to keep half of these, if you wanted to keep, what is that, 17 of them, you multiply that by 30, you're talking almost a little over $50 in shipping that he dodged by buying this in a big lot. He'll probably pay for some of them outright, if not all of them outright, by reselling the titles that he's not going to keep. He did tell me that he plans on keeping 10 titles out of the 36. So he's going to resale 26 of them. I think there's a very good chance he's going to get all his money back. We'll see how he likes selling 26 4Ks on eBay. That's not nothing. It's not an insurmountable amount, but he does have 2 kids and a life and a job, and not everybody has the kind of time that it takes to sell a bunch on eBay. But if you do it as a hobby, you keep it low stress, you sell as you want, it's totally something most people can do and fit into their lifestyle. So that's what I've done. That's how I amassed this collection. And so today we're going to unbox his mystery box from eBay. Before I do that, if you didn't catch last week, I unboxed a big box of Blu-rays from Goodwill, and this was one of them. This is a sealed copy of King Kong from 1933. At the time, I didn't know it was sealed. It came in the box. Then I realized it was sealed. And I didn't have a comp for exactly how much this was worth on eBay. But since I now had the barcode, I could scan the item directly. And there was one of these brand new that recently sold for $250. So in that last live video, I said $69 was the only comp I had, which was a used copy of King Kong. Turns out if these are sealed, they can sell and have sold recently for $250. Now, my strategy with this is that I listed it on eBay for $500, okay? This sealed copy of 1933's King Kong. Do I think I will get $500 for this? No, I don't. But I have it set to easy pricing, which every week, every 7 days, knocks off 5% off of the cost of this Blu-ray. So I started at 500, just in case there's somebody out there with way too much money who really likes King Kong and collects Blu-rays. But I'm pretty sure it's probably going to take a few months, 5% a week, and then eventually this will hit the market value, the highest market value, and it'll sell, hopefully for more than $250. I paid less than $3 for this title because I bought it in bulk with a bunch of other titles. So if it doesn't go for $250, if it ends up at $150 or $100 or even $69, like I saw that used copy, I'm still, it's all a bonus for me. But that's my strategy when selling big ticket Blu-rays. Go high, aim high, be patient, and let that easy pricing just kind of lower it into the actual market value. Another title from last week that I just kind of brushed by that I actually really love, now that I've actually gotten to spend a little bit more time with it, is this copy of Forever Marilyn, which was a used copy. I just kind of looked at it and said, it's probably about Marilyn Monroe, and moved on. What I didn't know is this is like a Blu-ray collection of Marilyn Monroe movies, which she famously wasn't in a lot of them. There's a book 1 and a book 2, and each of these has like, this one has 3 of her movies inside of it, and this one has 4. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, There's No Business Like Show Business. I mean, like really popular classic titles. And I really haven't explored Marilyn Monroe's filmography, but I'm looking forward to it at this point. And I'm going to keep this at least until I watch them. And if you see this on the shelf, even if it's cheap, there wasn't a whole lot of value in this, roughly $20. But if you see it on the shelf, I think it's a decent pickup, especially just if you want to explore like Marilyn Monroe's major movies. So anyway, let's get to this week's unboxing of the mystery 4K box of Blu-rays. So here it is. This came from Seneca Falls, New York. We're going to break it open right now. I'm not going to look at the titles. I'm just going to reach in there and pull one out. We're going to talk about it. And by the end of it, hopefully we will have come to a conclusion whether this was a good investment on the part of my friend or not. So got my trusty knife here, and we're going to open this box. All right, here we go. We're opening the box, the mystery box of 4Ks. I've got it open, but I still have not looked. I'm just going to grab a title off the top. Here we go. Oh, Bad Boys for Life. This is the recent Bad Boys movie that I think came out maybe in 2020. I don't remember exactly if this was like just before the pandemic hit here in the US, but yeah, it's a good movie. I enjoy it. It's a recent movie, which bodes well as far as its resale value. That's for sure. He did say some of these are new. This one has slipcover. It looks like it's been opened, but there is a digital code in here. Hopefully that digital code is valid. Won't know whether that's true until he goes and checks them. But yeah, I mean, Bad Boys for Life. This is not one I've seen on the resale market. It's not a title that's like been flooded everywhere like Sicario or some of the other titles that have been discounted on Amazon for quite a while. So it bodes well for how much it's worth. Off the top of my head, I have no idea what it's worth, but I would guess somewhere between $15 and $20 is my best guess. Also, I don't think he's going to keep that, personally. Knives Out. This is a great mystery thriller comedy. I don't know. There's a bunch of genres for Knives Out. This is a Blu-ray that, oh, I should say, I don't own Bad Boys for Life. I don't necessarily need to own it. I wouldn't mind owning it, but I'd rather have it like in a trilogy pack. And I don't even know if they make those on 4K. But I do have them on Blu-ray in a trilogy pack. So Knives Out. I own this one, but I don't have a used copy. Mine is sealed, which means it's unopened. And it's unopened because I have a hard time bringing myself to opening Blu-rays that are sealed, because just like driving a car off the lot of a car dealership, the second you open it, you lose like 35 to 40% of the value. So anyway, Knives Out, awesome movie. This is one that I'm pretty sure my friend is going to keep. There's a digital code in there, both the discs with a slip cover. I would guess on this one somewhere between $10 and $15, maybe a little more, depending on the month. So got a good deal on that one. If you're thinking of it in terms of the per title average of $8.61. So Love and Monsters, another fairly recent movie. I think this was a 2020, maybe early 2021 movie. Yeah. So for those of you who just joined, I'm unboxing a box of 4Ks that came from eBay, but I didn't buy them. A friend of mine bought them, and he offered them to me to unbox live on the channel. So that's what we're doing right now. Love and Monsters on 4K. I have not seen this. It's got a great slipcover, perfect quality, with a digital code in there. I'm curious to know how many of these digital codes work. Most of the time I've found that if somebody leaves a digital code in a copy, it probably works. But every now and then you get a batch where I guess somebody just redeemed them and stuck them in there because I guess they like to keep old pieces of paper. I don't know, something like that. All right, Spider-Man, Far From Home. We all know this movie. I have this one on my shelf. I don't think I have it in 4K though. I do not have this one in 4K. I have it in Blu-ray. I have all the Marvel films between Blu-ray and 4K. But yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home. Good movie. No slipcase on this one, but there is a digital code. I might just tell you when there's not a digital code, because I'm pretty sure this all came from the same person, and maybe they all have digital codes. I don't know. But yeah, I don't have this one in my collection. Not quite sure what it's worth, because I haven't sold too many Disney 4Ks. But I know that Disney Blu-rays, their value is tanking big time right now, because people are realizing that all the Marvel films, or at least the vast majority of them, are on Disney Plus. I know they don't have all the Sony Marvel films, meaning just the Spider-Man movies, but they will. They're going to get them at some point, and not everybody can make that distinction in their brain. Anyway, A Wrinkle in Time, another Disney movie. Not quite sure what this is worth, because the movie itself was not very popular, and on top of that, I can't imagine it got popular on home video, home release, whatever, home physical media. So I don't know what this is worth. Sometimes those types of things actually drive the value up because there's not that many on the resale market. But sometimes it just means there is no demand. So I have no clue. If I had to guess, maybe $11 or $12 for this, but it's a complete guess. I have no clue. All right, Color Out of Space, another movie I have not seen. It's a Nicolas Cage movie. I'm not against seeing it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I've heard it's decent as far as Nicolas Cage movies go. You know, these days he's in so many of them that it's hard to tell which ones are worth watching and which ones are a giant waste of time. But certainly Color Out of Space seems to be one of the ones that people talked about when it first came out. This one without the digital code. But the packaging is awesome. I love that purple color on the packaging. I like it when they stylize things those types of ways. It's pretty awesome. But no idea what this is worth. I would guess probably, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be worth a lot, but I would guess probably somewhere between 10 and 15 would be my complete guess. I don't think it's much more than that. It's a new release, which keeps it that high, but it's not exactly a high profile movie. So Overlord. This is a movie I've seen, I enjoy. I'll probably never see it again for the rest of my life because I think once was enough. Not that it's bad, it's just there was nothing that completely stood out as amazing. So Overlord, yeah. With the digital code and both the discs in there, not sure what this is worth, but I have seen it in other lots, which tells me that it gets around for sure. And so I'm not 100% sure. I would guess if there were any title that I've seen so far that's under $10 on resale, it's probably Overlord, but that's just a guess. I have no clue. Transformers: The Last Night. I think this was the last Transformers movie. Yeah, so the Transformers movies on Blu-ray don't really fetch much of anything for the most part. I mean, I sold like a 5 or 6 disc collection with all the Transformers movies on Blu-ray, good looking package, like new, and it was like less than $10. So I don't know whether that translates to 4K or not, and I've never resold a Transformers 4K title, but I would not be shocked if this one sold for like roughly $10. Nothing crazy, but also my friend's going to get his money back on it if he resells it, which I have no doubt he will be reselling this for sure. All right, I'm going to start making 2 stacks. One that my friend is going to keep, one that he's going to sell. Right now I only have one in the keep, Knives Out. Can pretty much guarantee you he's keeping that one. All right. Mission Impossible Fallout. I would guess that my friend's going to keep this for sure. This is a movie that I enjoy. I recently picked it up in an eBay lot, but I'm going to resell it. I think he'll probably want to keep it, but I'm going to resell it because I'm pretty sure after the most recent Mission Impossible movie comes out here, I think by end of summer. It's supposed to have been out by now, but obviously because of the pandemic, they've delayed it a bunch. Or is this one they filmed during the pandemic? I don't remember. But there's a new Mission Impossible coming out, and I would not be shocked if we got a Mission Impossible 4K collection right behind it. So I'm going to resell mine before it loses all value because of a collection. But I wouldn't be shocked if he kept this, because he does like this movie. So I'm going to put that in the keep. Why not? All right. Now we're getting into some good stuff. Disney's Frozen sealed Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. No clue what this is worth. I've done very little research on Steelbooks. Pretty much only one session of searching used versions. I know sometimes sealed, sometimes Best Buy, sometimes Steelbook. Those combinations can bring in decent returns. I doubt my friend is going to keep this because while he does have a young daughter, he also has access to Disney Plus, and I don't think he really cares about keeping a Steelbook on his shelf. But this probably has the most potential to bring the most return, I would guess, just because of those variables. Not necessarily that it's Frozen. It's easy to get access to Frozen these days, but because it's Best Buy and it's a Steelbook and it's still sealed, I would guess this is probably the most valuable out of the ones I've seen from this box so far. But we will see. But I'm guessing he's selling it. And this one, he's keeping. I can almost guarantee you. My friend loved this movie, and I don't fully understand the love for this movie. I mean, I like it. I generally understood it. And I thought about it more than most movies that I've seen recently. But I also think it was kind of needlessly confusing. Yeah, like I don't go to movies to like intentionally be confused unless there's like a big payoff as far as the explanation by the end of it. And with this one, I felt like I was intentionally being confused, and then there was no payoff, unless you consider special effects a payoff. But I don't know. I didn't get it. Anyway, but I do love Christopher Nolan. I respect the movie, and I'm glad my friend got it on 4K. If I was to find this on 4K for a decent price, I would keep it as well, just because, you know, Nolan. Exactly. So Tenet with a digital code and the discs and a nearly flawless slipcover. Not bad. I'm going to put that in his he's probably keeping it pile. So, all right, here we go. Another Steelbook. This one is not opened, but it's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino's most recent movie in Steelbook. Already opened with the digital code. It looks like it's in just about flawless condition, which is sometimes a danger with used Steelbooks. But man, this thing is beautiful. If I were him, I'd find out how much this is worth, and then I'd probably resell it, depending on what it's worth. I mean, if it's worth like $10, then keep it. Why not? It's worth having it. Just if it was a normal 4K, it'd be worth having it. But having it as a 4K Steelbook on your shelf at $10, that's great. But if it was like $20 and up, I would resell it and then buy myself a normal copy of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's me personally. I know other people love Steelbooks. Some of them like them well enough. And for $8.61 on average per title from this box, I mean, it's a pretty good deal if this is what you're into. But if he wanted to resell it and then buy like 2 4Ks, he probably could, I'm guessing, based on what the resale on a perfect copy on 4K Steelbook goes on eBay. So I'm going to put that in the keep pile, even though I would sell it personally. Ford v Ferrari on 4K, a movie I enjoy. I'm not going to say it's my favorite movie, that's for sure. It's a James Mangold movie. He directed Logan and a bunch of other movies for sure, but Logan's the most notable. With digital code, both the discs are in there. I like this movie. I don't think my friend likes it, at least not enough to keep it, so I'm guessing he would sell this. Not sure what it's worth, but I would guess more than $8.61 for sure. Another copy of Frozen. This one is not the Steelbook, and it's busted. This copy of Frozen be busted for sure. It comes with digital code. Again, no clue whether that's going to hold. Hopefully this was busted before he gave it to me, because I don't think I would have busted it. But yeah, I'm guessing this is worth far less than the sealed Best Buy Frozen Steelbook. It's definitely worth far less with a super busted cover, or case rather, but it's probably worth something. I would guess, I don't know, $6 or $7 on eBay. He's selling it. I can almost guarantee you. Mulan. This is the live action remake of Mulan with slipcover. Movie I didn't necessarily love. I didn't hate it either. I just thought it was not something I'm going to remember ultimately. But I know my friend did enjoy it. This one's in one piece, which is good. And he did enjoy it, but I don't think he's necessarily going to want to hold on to this, especially since this movie is on Disney Plus for the rest of its life. So if you really wanted to watch Mulan, you could. Do you necessarily need it on your shelf? I don't, for sure, and I doubt my buddy will want to either. He'll probably want to resell this for a title he'd rather have on his shelf. So I'm guessing resell. Here we go. There are a lot of kids' movies in this. Frozen 2, another 4K title. This one I have not seen. I have not seen Frozen 2. I've seen the first one. Has digital code, has both of its discs, has a slipcase. Will probably sell better than Frozen 1, I would guess, but not by much. I'm guessing like there's a risk here these are under the per title average by a few bucks, but not by a lot. So I'm guessing he's selling this. All right, here we go. Back to the Future. The 4K trilogy digibook. There we go. 4K trilogy digibook with the outer case that I'm going to pick up before I stomp on it. And this one I'm pretty jealous about, even though I own it. I just know what I paid for it. So in the 36 title total, did he count this as 3? That's how I normally do it, but I have no idea whether he actually did that. If he didn't, and he paid on average $8.61 for all 3 movies, that is a really great price. If he paid $8.61 times 3, because there's 3 movies in here, it's still a great price. What would that be? 8.16, like 25 bucks roughly, which is what I paid for it on eBay. But I had to watch it on eBay and snipe that price out of nowhere. So using my own measuring stick, if he paid roughly $25 for this, he got a good price. It's a price I would pay for sure. He's keeping this. Can almost guarantee you he's keeping that. Dr. Sleep in 4K Steelbook. This is a movie that I don't believe my friend has seen. This is also, looks like just absolutely a flawless 4K Steelbook. And has the digital code. Both discs are in there. I don't think he's seen it, and I don't think he really has much interest in it. I think if he saw it, he wouldn't hate it. In fact, I've recommended he watch it in the past, and he has not so far. So I would guess that he'll probably watch this at some point, but I also think he's going to resell it. Probably because there's a decent value in this being a 4K Steelbook in very good condition. But I'm guessing he's selling that. Pacific Rim Uprising, which I don't have on 4K, or do I? I think I might have picked this up for like $3 at a thrift store. And I think it's in a bag over there, and I haven't actually added it to the shelf. But anyway, this is the sequel to Pacific Rim. Not as good as the first one, but still entertaining, I would say. Yeah, I don't think this one will meet the average on eBay, and I'm guessing he's going to resell it. I doubt he needs this on his shelf. So Pacific Rim Uprising, I think he's going to sell it. I'm guessing he could probably get $8 to $10 for this. Hopefully over $8.61. But even if it's a little less, like when you buy a large lot and you plan on selling more than half of them, the chances are good, if you've done your math correctly, that you're going to get all of that money back, even for the titles that you kept. So, so far, he's selling 26 of these titles. He's only keeping 10 of them. I'm pretty sure he's going to get all his money back and then some, and he's going to get to keep 10 4K titles. So not bad. All right. Don't know what this is. The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, another Disney Steelbook. This is what I'm talking about, people. Like the Disney market right now is just getting flooded with people who are realizing they just don't need these in physical media anymore, especially if they have kids and they don't want to deal with discs. They just throw the kid the iPad or they throw it up on the TV for Disney Plus. I mean, it basically means that you don't need these anymore. Now, I would guess, since this is a 4K Steelbook, this is an adult who bought it, but for one reason or another, they don't love it anymore. There is a little dent across the top. I don't know if you can see that right here. Not a huge dent and nothing I would consider a scrape, but there is a little bit, and there's like a tiny bit of damage right here, but nothing that a collector isn't used to seeing for a used Steelbook product. So don't know much about this movie. Haven't heard that it's any good. No idea what it resells for, but since this is a Disney 4K Steelbook, I would guess he will easily get his money back and then some on this. Life of Pi. If he doesn't keep this one, I'm gonna have to see what I can do, because I do want this on 4K. I love this movie. I've only seen it once, but I want to rewatch it. And the next time I rewatch it, I want to rewatch it on 4K. And so I don't think he's going to keep this because I don't think he loves it, but I want this. And I don't really see it out there very often. That probably means it's worth something. So probably going to have to pony up for it. But great movie, Life of Pi. Both discs in there with a digital code. And I'm going to put that in the cell. I don't think he's going to keep it. If we count Back to the Future, the trilogy, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies in his cell pile. Sorry, in his keep pile. But I don't think he's going to, well, he said he's going to keep about 10. So there's only 3 left, and there's still a lot of titles in here. Anyway, Disney's Aladdin. Pardon me. This is a remake of the original animated Aladdin with slipcover. I'm going to slow down just so my voice can I think I'm talking too fast. With digital code. This is this is the remake. I did not like this movie. I mean, it was an interesting science experiment to watch once on a movie theater screen, but why anybody would need to rewatch this ever, I don't know. So I'm guessing he feels the same, and he's going to resell it. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. This is awesome. He's going to keep this. I can almost guarantee you. I'd be shocked if he resold it, unless it's worth like an insane amount of money. Then I could see him reselling it. But classic movie that I know he enjoys. I enjoy it as well. A James Stewart movie, and no digital code in here, but perfect condition, and not a movie that I see too much in eBay lots. The fact that he got this for $8.61 is awesome, and I'm a little jealous for sure. Ooh, another one that, okay, interesting. So I'm just gonna root around here because I'm pretty sure, I'm not paying too much attention to the titles. I'm pretty sure a couple of these are from the same set. Yeah, okay. So, Jerry Maguire, Gandhi, Dr. Strangelove, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith Go to Washington. I think that's it. These came from a set. I think it's a Paramount set of 4Ks, and the only way to actually get these movies is in that set. And the set, I think, is like $100+ dollars. I don't remember exactly. I think it was like 180 when it first came out. So this is obviously not the complete set, because I think there were 6 movies. And I think you're missing like Lawrence of Arabia, and I forget what the other ones are, what the last one is. But there's a couple in here that I would definitely keep. In fact, I would keep all 4 of these. Jerry Maguire, maybe the least. I'm not sure why anybody needs to see this on 4K, but if you're just collecting 4Ks, it's a good one to have. This is an awesome get. I almost never see these piecemealed out like this. Somebody really loved the other 2 movies, Lawrence of Arabia and whatever that 6th one is, and then decided they didn't want these. I don't know how that worked, but these are awesome pickups, and super jealous about those. He might be reselling these because I'm already at like 8 titles. So I'm going to assume Back to the Future he is not keeping. I mean, he's keeping it, but he's counting it as 1, because I'm going to try to get to 10. But I think he'd keep Dr. Strangelove for sure. If he doesn't keep that, he should, in my opinion. And probably Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, because I think that's like a top, maybe not 100, but it's a top something movie for him. So, and then maybe Jerry Maguire and Gandhi get sacrificed to the eBay gods to help pay for more titles that he wants to keep. So that would be my best guess. Arrival on 4K. I have this movie, but I don't have a slipcover for it. And I think the slipcover, not necessarily rare, but not available with like the cheaper copies that are going around these days. But with digital code, perfect condition, pretty much all of these, maybe not necessarily perfect condition, but like new to very good. Like I haven't seen anything that has like a particular amount of damage where I'm like, oh my gosh, unsellable, or whatever. These are very well taken care of. Here we go. Here's another one. There is 4, 8, 9 left. Here we go. Ralph Breaks the Internet. This is a Best Buy exclusive steelbook, still sealed. And I think it has I think I hear a disc rolling around in it, which isn't a huge deal, but could be an issue. Who knows? Yeah, so this is probably worth something. I would guess $20 plus, especially since it's sealed, and my friend's going to resell it. Can almost guarantee you. Oh, the original Ralph. What do you call? What is this movie called? WreckIt Ralph. Yeah, the original WreckIt Ralph in Steelbook, still sealed, sort of. Has issues with the seal, but it's definitely brand new. You could list this as brand new as long as you took photos of the wrapper, you know, kind of peeling off and stuff like that. Make it known that it is brand new, even though the wrapper's peeling back. But Best Buy exclusive again, Steelbook, at least $20, $20 plus, I would guess. Tangled, another kids movie. I'm guessing he's going to get rid of all these kids movies. Even though he has kids, he also has access to Disney Plus, and I doubt he necessarily needs these sitting on his shelf. But with the digital code, discs look very good inside. Perfect slipcover. Not quite sure what that would be worth, but again, not a title I see much out there, even as far as like Disney titles go. So if I had to guess off the top of my head, maybe $12 or $13. Three from Hell. This is the Rob Zombie, like the last film in his trilogy of, I don't know what you'd call them, like original horror movies. Never seen it. Don't really care for Rob Zombie like I did when I was in high school and like White Zombie was a thing, but I'm really dating myself. But I don't know. Never really got into his horror movies. I seen his version of Halloween, the first time he rebooted it, and it was all right, but never really got into him. So neither did my friend. Guaranteed, he's reselling that. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, the most recent Jurassic World movie. Not a good movie. My friend does not like this movie. I don't like it either. I also have it on 4K, and I'm also reselling it because I really don't care about it. I have the Jurassic Park 4K set, and someday I'm sure that will be a 5-disc set with this, or it'll be 6-disc set with this and whatever the third Jurassic World movie is. At that point, I'll get it. Why not? Just to have it, but I don't really like it. So I know my friend doesn't either. He's going to resell that. Knives Out on Steelbook. So my friend paid $310 for 36 titles, and a decent amount of them are Steelbooks, which is not bad. I think he got a very good deal personally. But Knives Out on 4K, Steelbook with digital code, beautiful Steelbook with one of these plastic slip covers, plastic slip cover. So it's going to last longer. It's not going to ding up like the cardboard covers. I've seen those out and about here and there, but I've never actually held one in my hand. But I would guess my friend is going to sell the copy of Knives Out. He's going to sell this copy of Knives Out and keep the copy of Knives Out that's in the standard case, just because this is going to give him a better return. But I don't know for sure. Jojo Rabbit, an awesome movie on 4K. I have on 4K. It's kind of like a historical drama comedy, or maybe historical comedy drama. Not sure. It's a weird one, but good. Like I said, I own it on 4K. I believe my friend will want to keep this as well. Possibly. I do know that it fetches a decent amount on eBay, so he might be tempted to sell it. But for right now, I'm going to put it in the keep. Hereditary, A24 horror movie that I guarantee my friend's going to sell. I think he likes it, but he probably never needs to see it again. I don't think it's going to fetch a whole lot. I don't remember if I have this. HIJ. I don't have this, so it's definitely one that I would want and would want to keep. I'll have to talk to him about it and see where we can land on a price, because this is one that I would probably want to keep. But I'm going to throw this on his sell pile because I think he's going to want to sell it. Not sure. This is the last title in the mystery 4K box. This is First Man, Ryan Gosling, Damien Chazelle, director of Whiplash and La La Land. And I forget what his upcoming movie is called. But yeah, it's about the first man on the moon. And it's like an esoteric take on that a little bit. There's some drama and there's also like a little bit of ambiguousness. But First Man, beautiful slipcover, perfect condition case, it looks like, with digital code and both the discs. Good movie. Definitely one that I have and want to rewatch on 4K. After that one rewatch, I'm not sure I'll ever rewatch it again, but I do like Damien Chazelle, and I like the idea of having a director's entire filmography on 4K. And since he's such a young filmmaker, it's actually possible with him. Well, kind of. He has like I don't think it's a student film, but it's like a film right out of college that I've never seen. That's another musical. Came pre-Whiplash. Was online for a little while and then eventually left. And so I doubt that will ever get a 4K release, but Whiplash, La La Land, First Man has. So he's a young enough filmmaker that you could buy all of his known movies on 4K. So I would guess that my friend, if I don't have 10 yet, I'm going to add this to his 10. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This would be his 9th. I'm going to throw it in there. He told me he was going to keep roughly 10. This is what I believe his keep pile is. Knives Out, Fallout, Tenet, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Back to the Future trilogy, Dr. Strangelove, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Jojo Rabbit, and First Man. I think there's a couple more in here that I think he might keep, but I don't know if he counted Back to the Future as 1 or 3. So I don't know. For those of you just joining, these are some of the other titles that he had in the lot. Arrival, the 2 WreckIt Ralph movies in sealed Best Buy Steelbook, Disney Tangled, 3 from Hell, Jurassic Park, Knives Out Steelbook, and Hereditary. And he also had the Gandhi and Jerry Maguire from that Paramount 4K box set, which is awesome. Somebody pieced them out, evidently. Disney's Aladdin live action remake, Life of Pi, The Nutcracker, Pacific Rim, Dr. Sleep, Steelbook, and Frozen 2. And just a couple more. Mulan remake, Disney's Frozen, Ford v Ferrari, Disney's Frozen in sealed Best Buy Steelbook, Transformers The Last Night, Overlord Color of Space, A Wrinkle in Time, Spider-Man Far From Home. And finally in here, Bad Boys for Life, Love and Monsters. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick count. And if 36 counts Back to the Future as 1, then that's how I'll do my 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, he counted Back to the Future as 1. So I'm guessing he's going to count Back to the Future out of the 10 that he wants to keep. So I'm going to do that. So there's 9. So I need to find one more that I think he's going to keep. What could that be? It's probably Gandhi. I'm going to go Gandhi. I think he's going to keep 3 out of the 4 from that Paramount box. I would not be surprised if that's what he ended up doing. So I think the big finds in this lot, easily, the big finds in this lot are probably the 4 Paramount titles that were in that, I forget what it's called, like the Paramount Presents 4K Classics or something. I don't remember exactly, but it had Gandhi, Jerry Maguire, Dr. Strangelove, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and also, oh, what's that movie? I already said it once, but it's like Arabian Nights or something like that. What's the name of that movie? Okay, I'm going to search it. Why not? Paramount box set 4K. Maybe it wasn't Paramount. Maybe it was somebody else. Pretty sure it was Paramount. I don't remember. I'm not searching it very well. If anybody in the comments knows what I'm talking about, just leave a comment, because I have no clue. Paramount plus 4K. That's all right. I don't remember what the other titles are. Oh, Lawrence of Arabia is definitely one of them that's missing, but I don't remember if there were 5 titles or 6 titles in that set. At minimum, though, he has 4 of them here, which is great. That's awesome. I think those fetch a decent penny as individual titles on eBay. So yeah, I think he's going to keep Knives Out, Fallout, Tenet, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Steelbook opened, Back to the Future, although he didn't love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think he liked it except for the ending. So I don't know if he's going to keep that or not, but Back to the Future, Dr. Strangelove, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Jojo Rabbit, First Man Gandhi. That's my guess for what my friend is going to keep. And he's going to sell Love and Monsters, Bad Boys for Life, Mulan Remake, Frozen, Ford v Ferrari, Frozen Sealed Steelbook, Transformers Last Night, Overworld, Color of Space, Wrinkle in Time, Spider-Man Far From Home. He's going to sell the Jerry Maguire that came in that box set. He's going to sell Aladdin Remake, Life of Pi, Nutcracker Steelbook, Pacific Rim, Dr. Sleep Steelbook, Frozen 2, Hereditary, Knives Out Steelbook he's going to sell. He's going to sell Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, 3 from Hell, Tangled, WreckIt Ralph, and Ralph Breaks the Internet Steelbook, and finally, Arrival. Those are the ones he's going to sell. My prediction. Now, so the question we wanted to answer was, did he get a good deal, right? Did he do well with 36 titles, $310 total, $8.61 per? And I would say yes, he definitely got a good deal. One, because those titles that came from the box set, I think are going to be worth more than your typical 4K. 2, there's a lot of steelbooks in here, and some of them are sealed. Some of them are Best Buy exclusives. And a lot of the ones he's probably going to want to sell are going to be steelbooks, and a couple of them are sealed. So those are going to fetch a better price than your typical 4K, traditionally. Not always, but most of the time. And he's got some other titles here that have value. Some of them that will be roughly $8 when he goes to resell them. But if you have like 10 that are going to be roughly $8 and all the other ones are going to be 16 and up, then you're going to pay off all the titles that you wanted to keep anyway by the time you run through all 36 of those titles, which is really 38 by my count. If he's counting Back to the Future as one title, when it's really 3 movies, it's 3 titles in my book. So it's actually less than $8.61 per, based on how I calculate these kinds of things, but not by a whole lot. But yeah, overall, a good buy. I would totally buy this for $310. In fact, I have to ask him what he searched where I didn't see this. But anyway, does anybody have any questions before we end this and just enjoy the rest of our Memorial Day weekend Sunday? I'll give you a few minutes if anybody has any questions. I'm not sure I even have the chat on. I don't know. I don't remember it asking me. That's okay. There's either no questions or I forgot to turn the chat on. One or the other. Either way, this was fun. We will do it again another day with another large box at some point. Like I said at the beginning of this will not become a weekly thing, but we did it last weekend. Just happened to work out this weekend. We'll do it again in the future at some point, but don't expect this to be a weekly thing. Anyway, thanks you guys. I appreciate you watching. And until next time, bye.